Good morning, everyone. Karen from Karen's Retirement. Struggling a little bit today to show up for myself. I haven't been feeling very good the last few days, and it's my own fault. I know I've mentioned before that I have food sensitivity issues, and so I basically eat a protein-based diet. I don't eat any potatoes. I don't eat pasta. I don't eat most fruits. I will buy frozen cherries, and that's my fruit. But it's a mainly protein-based diet. Over this last week, I've tried integrating new things, and like rice and beans. It only took 2 days for me to not feel very well. Dates and macadamia nuts. It only took me 2 days to not feel very well. Even though, you're doling it out just a little bit at a time. So I've discovered, I just took a shower, so I'm screwing around with my hair. So I'm like, I'm really just going to have to go back to protein-based and leave it at that. So what does that have to do with showing up for yourself? I didn't want to show up for myself today. I'm not feeling good. My joints are achy. Stomach doesn't feel good. I feel super lethargic and a little cranky. So I'm just sitting around doing absolutely nothing. I made my bed. I forced myself to eat. And I was just sitting around watching some YouTube stuff. And something popped up about showing up. And it just kind of hit me. I wasn't showing up for myself today. What was I going to do about showing up for myself today? Because when I get like this, I don't do anything. I don't want to talk to anybody. Not that I do. I don't want to take a shower. I don't want to put on deodorant. I want to brush my teeth. I don't want to eat. I don't want anything. That's not showing up for yourself at all. That's punishment. That's punishment. You should be punishing yourself. We show up for everybody else. We have no problem showing up for other people. But we always seem to put ourselves on the back burner, don't we? Right here. And when you get used to that, and you don't show up for yourself, just with the basics, I'm not even sleeping at night that much. I'm getting a couple hours, and then I'm up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning for hours, and then I go back to bed. So I'm not quite sure what that's all about, because that hasn't happened in a long time. So I'm sitting here just kind of not depressed or woe is me or anything like that, but I was like, girl, you need to show up for yourself right now. So I got up, took a shower. A very long hot shower. Something I haven't done in I don't know how long. So I showed up for myself. I still get to brush my teeth. I made my bed. I made myself to eat. And of course I wasn't going to do a video today. I was going to wait. I have some ideas about some things, and this just happened to be appropriately showed up. So I'm like, what the hell? Why not? Because I'm pretty sure that some of you aren't showing up for yourselves either, are you? No. And whether you're a guy or a gal, if you're showing up for everybody else and not yourself, you're showing up with an empty cup. Charity begins at home. And that's not selfish. I don't care what anybody says. You're not being selfish. If someone's telling you you're selfish, you're like, you know what? That's on you. I got to show up for myself today. And as long as you behave yourself and be a good girl or boy, I'll show up for you tomorrow. Maybe. Yes, I spend a lot of time alone. It's okay. But yeah, you need to show up for yourself. Eat as well as you can. I know that many of you, from all the comments, are strapped. And so am I. I'm seriously considering getting a part-time job next spring. I feel like I've had enough time off. It's time to get out there and contribute, monetarily to my future, because I'm scared too. I'm scared too. So that's another way for me to show up for myself. I'm hoping to find something that I enjoy, because I know a lot of you are locked into stuff that you're not. And I feel for you, because been there, and I don't want to be like that going forward. I don't, and I don't want it for you either. So if you're stuck somewhere, if you can find something else, but I have no advice on that. None. I've walked away from so many jobs, but that was just me. So, but yeah, you need to show up for yourself first. Eat as well as you can. Get some exercise every day, and see it as not a punishment or, oh, I got to exercise. Do it for your future, for your independent future. Yeah. Gosh, I don't take a shower, brush your teeth, comb your hair, and reach out to your family. Your kids, your grandkids. Be there for yourself. You don't always have to be there for everybody else. You have to show up for yourself first. So, leave your thoughts about what you're doing to show up for yourself. Share. Maybe the rest of us can get some tips, because I could use some, I think. Because I have a tendency to, I don't want to say go down the negative road, but it can be depressing sometimes. I don't get as ill, I guess, for lack of a better word, as I used to, because I've really cut down on what I eat. And I eat a lot of protein. My only source of fruit is frozen cherries. And that's something that I can tolerate a cup at a time, each day if I choose to. My voice is a little weird today because I'm not feeling good. So pardon me if I'm cracking and wheezing or anything else. Oh, and taking care of your home. I know that can be really hard to do. I like doing dishes, as odd as that sounds, but that's another way I show up for myself. But I don't let them sit in the sink anymore like I used to. Rinse them out and put them aside and give them a real wash job when you feel like it. So I do it all the time. When I'm done with something, squirt a little Dawn in there, get the brush out, and, that's how I show up for myself. My plants. Yeah, I got to show up for my plants. And that's also showing up for myself, I guess. Making sure my bills are paid and doing the best I can with that. Just showing up for yourself in general. I mean, if you didn't get the kind of comfort and love and support as you were growing up, sometimes you just have to parent yourself, show up for yourself. I'm having to reparent myself because my parents didn't parent them. That kind of like Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. I'm sorry. So anyway, I'm going to try and make this short and sweet because I'm rambling and I know it. But yeah, leave what you're doing in the comments. Share with us. Keep sharing. Because I can see you're not just talking to me. You're talking to each other. And building community here at Karen's Retirement is kind of what I'm all about, I guess, to some extent. I know it sounds kind of funny because I don't want to say antisocial, but I am an introvert. This is anxiety, and I'm a homebody. But I still like connecting with people and being able to connect with people who are on a similar path or having lived through similar situations is fabulous. Because then you're not all alone, right? So I'll stop babbling. You guys enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and I'll see you again soon.